Brie, welcome and thank you. We've been waiting for this for a long time, and you're here. What did you think of the elevator?
I'm honestly blown away. I think I mentioned to you earlier that I thought it was just going to be like two people, and this is such an incredible crew and setup. I'm really impressed with just the quality of sound, the experience. It's been so fun.
And you know, what I love about you is you're interested in all aspects of your performance, from the sound to what you wear, how you stand. And I can't help but think, you know, you grew up in Madrid, Spain. You grew up where there's culture. And I really noticed that in your whole presence, which is really, really a breath of fresh air.
Wow. Well, thanks. I'm sure if my kids were here, they'd let you know that I don't exactly look like this when I
Yes, you
wake
do.
up in the morning. But yeah, no, I do think that, you know, we express ourselves, we communicate with every choice that we make. And so there's been a lot of intentionality on my part, at least the desire to be intentional with the decisions that I'm making about colors and shapes and, style. And the record was very inspired by French New Wave and, that kind of like 60s flavor, the Brigitte Bardot, the Jane Birkin, like that kind of glamorous era. So I definitely, I don't know, I wanted to like inhabit that character.
And you capture it so well, but it's also your twist too. And what do your kids think of when mom sings?
Well, I mean, it's not as like remarkable to them because they've grown up hearing me sing, but it's pretty special for me as an artist to have kids that are of the age where when I leave to do this, for instance, when I came here, both of them came and gave me a hug and told me to break a leg. And my 13-year-old, right as I was walking out the door, he's like, "Proud of you, Mom." And that's pretty cool.
How do you run into somebody? Because, I mean, you've got such an eclectic presence, and you've worked with the producer of Wilco, and you've contributed to soundtracks, and you've got also a very devoted social media following. You are really hitting on all cylinders. How hard is that to stay up on, or is it just come natural because you're doing what you naturally want to do?
A lot of it, yes. I think a lot of it is naturally part of what I'm already doing. I'm already expressing myself. And I think some aspects of it are because I grew up speaking different languages. So the fact that I am bilingual, bicultural, already gave me that foundation to learn how to communicate in different languages and in different mediums. So I think I've always kind of been multivocal in that way. Social media isn't easy for anybody. It can be a chore, but I think I just made the decision to approach everything that I'm doing with the same level of care and intentionality and presence. Like, I mean, this might surprise you, but I'm actually profound introvert. So like, put me on a stage to perform and I'm totally fine. But put me in a party and like, I just turtle right up. So I make it a practice for myself to say, okay, I'm just going to speak to the person in front of me and be totally present to that person with my whole heart. And I can do that. So I think I treat each of the mediums that I express myself in that same way. And I actually find that having multiple different pathways of expression keeps me healthy. It keeps me from over-identifying with one. And so when I get tired working in one area, I might just like go pick up a paintbrush and do some painting, or if that's not working, I'll go, back to the studio, or, I'll work on social media for a little bit, or I'll plan the next music video. But I think moving around that way and thinking of my creativity like a web, it feels good to me.
We've got friends that are, born in California that have gone off, and they're huge hits in Europe. Since you speak different languages, are you exposing yourself back to Spain or back to France? How do you do that, and is it working?
Yeah, I mean, I'm grateful that I have an incredible manager who's already laying the foundation for all of that to happen. It's really contingent on relationships and getting into those markets and knowing who to talk to in those markets and distribution in those markets as well. But I have to tell you, I was just at South by Southwest, which was already a dream of mine to be able to perform there. And I had a chance to connect with a whole lot of Spanish artists at the Spanish Wave, which was like its own little kind of, showcase. And yeah, I think it's a massive dream for me to think about being able to play in Madrid or in Barcelona or one of these great festivals in Spain would be incredible for me to just come home and also come home as an artist. So I definitely hope that'll I hope that'll happen.
Well, and you've also got such appeal where, I mean, you could do movies. It's, when I'm sitting back listening, I'm in a David Lynch movie, which is I'm a huge fan of David Lynch, and your style never gets old, and it's new. I mean, you have cut yourself a niche that is all you, and I really wish you a lot of luck.
Thank you.
What we're trying to do here is just also help out musicians that are right on the verge, and so we do this all for free. How important is it right now in the musical world, because we were locked down for so long, and it's people have such tight discretionary income. How important is it that what we're doing?
Well, I'll speak to two different aspects of it. First, for myself as an artist, to be able to get this quality of a recording of a live performance is huge, because all booking agents and talent buyers for venues across the country, they want to see performances. And most of us just don't have the budget or haven't been able to pull it together enough to be able to do something like this. So it's a huge gift for us, which makes me incredibly grateful for what you're doing. But then I also think, there is this tentative return that we're all experiencing post the pandemic. And I think I was just speaking to a young lady who was here in the audience, and she's like, yeah, I almost forgot. I almost forgot how good it feels to go hear live music and to feel what it's like to actually be in the audience. And I relate to that too. I mean, I think COVID kind of shut us all down. So this will also, I think, serve to encourage people to come back out and hear us play, which of course we need as artists, because we need to make a living. So yeah.
Is there a direction that you'd like to take that has a lot of risk? For example, if Motorhead were still around, you team up with Lemmy or something. I mean, is there something that you're thinking of that's going to take you out of your comfort zone just to see if it works?
It's interesting that you bring that up. I was actually just in the studio the last 2 days working on the next record, which I know is madness that I'm already working on the next record before this one's even out. But, I think inspiration is there, and so I'm just rolling with it. But it's very different from this one. I find that the landscape is different. The topography of the songs is different. I'm writing a lot about my time in California, and so I'm experimenting with letting myself fully rock out in some moments and then come back and be deeply vulnerable and nostalgic on the piano. So allowing myself to feel that kind of breadth of extremes is raw. It's hard. It's hard to go there. There was a moment in the studio yesterday where I realized that I had finally expressed something in a song, communicating, talking about my divorce, that I knew I had written a song about the divorce, but it wasn't until all the elements were there and the guitar's just jangling and jamming out that it actually hit me, and I just sat there and just wept. So I think I am already experimenting in that sort of wild, all-in kind of way, and even in this moment of my life, I can't tell you how many times I wonder if I'm crazy to do this. Am I gonna survive? Is this gonna be okay? I mean, it's hard to be a musician these days, but.
Don't you feel then if you're crazy, then you're hitting it? I mean,
Yeah.
you're going right down the center of the road.
Yeah.
Well, listen, thank you so much for spending time, and you've got a home, so anything you want to do, again, we've got plenty of time for you. You're a pleasure to work with.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it so much.